This is gonna cause problems. We're calling for 6 to 8 inches today, and up to 12 inches by tomorrow. Totally. I can't go nowhere in this. I'm not going to get out and drive in. There will be flooding here shortly. Been doing it for several hours. Not supposed to be severe. Speak up, just rain. A little bit of lightning going on, but man, oh man. No fishing for a long time after this. Not next week anyway. I'll try to make my way out to the shop sometime today. We've got to quit sometime. Well, it slacked off rain just a little bit, and there's another round coming. Most all day they said now. My little weather app thing said 6 inches so far. That's a lot of water. There's going to be a lot of flooding. Places that normally flood. And this is the biggest rain we've had since they finished some of these big new subdivisions with no drainage. So there's going to be some mad folks down there. Thank you, County Commission. But we should take care of that this next election, we hope. Now, it's here, it's here, it's here. Thank you to my friend Carl out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Saw that I needed one of these, and he I believe got a new trolling motor for his boat also, and didn't need this anymore. Minn Kota extension handle. Now this is the short one. We'll make another long one. I think this one's going to be all right. I mean the right length. Brand looks basically brand new. And most all Minn Kotas will fit. So. That ain't long enough. My little brother Jimmy has a longer one that he said I could have. Packing material. Somebody will see that again. Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much. And rain's getting harder. Let's see what we can get done today. Probably not much. No driving today. Too wet. Too much water on the road. Alright, y'all. Since you can't go anywhere, I'm not going to go anywhere. I've got to where I hate driving too much anyway, much less in weather like this, until it gets too bad and I have to go in. The lightning is starting to really pop. Let's get started on this one. I showed this one a week or so back. This one has to have a new handle. The camera won't pick it up, but you can see nothing's flush on this thing. It's really sharp. You could cut yourself with that thing. The fit and finish of the handle is just not what it should be. Pins are not flush, and it's too thin. He wants it a little bit thicker. See, we've got a 0.86, and we need it at least an inch wide. Right there. I'll see that. But I have some dark walnut, a little darker than this, and we're going to replace it with. Now let's see how easy it's going to be, or how hard it's going to be to get this off. Just take us a punch and see if we can knock these pins out. coming right out of there. Let's see, get a little small. Because these punches taper up. There we go. That one popped out. Don't know how well they're glued on there. I'm sure they're epoxied on there. Alright, let me check my phone. Mom was worried about me out here in this weather. Be right back. Alright, let's see if this one comes out as easy. Yep. And there it is on the floor. Let's see what size these are. I think that would be 3/32. Let me get my little gauge. Hang on. .564 is loose. 5/32. That's what it is. 5/32 brass pin rod, and I have plenty of that over there in my storage area for that. All right. Now I'm gonna try to keep at least one of these in one piece. Now we can copy it, but make it just a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. And it'll be wider this way anyway. So let's put these away. Get us a wood chisel. I'm not going to pound on this really hard. I'm just going to... Well, say I'm not. Appears to be epoxied on there pretty good. It don't have to come off in one piece. It's just better. Okay, broke loose there. And of course it split right down the middle. Well, it ain't epoxy too awful good. It's like some kind of redwood or something. There we go. Okay, I can stick that back together good enough for a pattern. That's a mess. Well, that's good. That's soldered in. Now, I haven't looked at the blade yet. I'll unwrap this one before we're done, because he wants me to look it over good. I'm not quite sure. I don't even remember what kind it was. Yep, see, you got your little solder joint, solder weld on either side. That holds your hand guard there. That one came off and all in one piece. All right, next step. Let me clean this up real good. Get all this gunk off of it. As you can see, where there's no connection with epoxy here or here or here, and it wasn't going to just fall off, but these are factory made. When it goes through basically a machine that does all of that. So anyway, still not a bad knife so far. Now let's what did I say I was going to do next? Oh, let's get this cleaned up. Alright, this is working out pretty easy. I scuffed it just a little bit, and that's still sticky. I don't know what in the world that is. It's not epoxy, some kind of glue. Anyway, a little bit of acetone, a piece of Scotch Brite, and it's coming right off of there. Look at there. That's what we want to see. And it's a pretty good clump of solder right there. The joint is actually there. And these handles here, they had knocked out a little piece. I still have to do that a little bit, but I want to get that one spot off of there. File right here maybe. Because that little spot is not serving a purpose for anything. That's not even solder, that's flux. Flux off when you solder. That stuff you're supposed to clean off. That'll be alright. Alright, that's that for right now. Give it one more wipe down before we put anything on there. Now let's get our wood and make us some new handles. All right, transferring these over. And I'm marking them a little bit big, and then I'll cut outside the line so they'll be a little bit, because they wasn't off by much. It was just off enough to not be right. So I'll actually cut them pretty good bit oversized, and then take the material away. It's there and there. And this is walnut from Ohio. Now I'm going to rip it here into here, and then I'll trim off enough of the edge to where it'll be a little over an inch when we put them both together. A little over an inch here, and then you'll have that much. 0.15 is what I can't see my chart. What is it? What is it? Can't see it. It's that much. Anyway, the handle wound up being about 1 inch. There we go. Let's go do that. Next step. I'll list them like this so I don't confuse myself. Back side, top side being the blade. Cut this one first, and I've got plenty of room to sand it, flatten it, and get it right. And we're going to cut it a little bit strong. And I think the scroll saw will do a pretty good job on that. Let's see. Alright, this next part's going to take a while. I'm going to grind it, fit it, grind it, fit it, until I get it almost there. Then we'll start on the other side. Alright, I've got it as close as I'm going to take it. Right here, from this side. Because I need room to make sure both sides are even. And they both get on there. Now, where that solder joint is down there, nibbled out a piece of that. That's going to work just peachy. And we still got plenty of room to sand off here when we get our width. We'll do all that when both sides are on. There goes the phone again. Now, why didn't I notice that? Oh, that'd be cut out anyway. No big deal. Alright, see, I start talking to myself sometimes, y'all. Alright, got this fitted up really nicely here, both sides. Now, next step, before I glue everything down, so see how this shoulder's coming that far off with the finger guard? You need to cut a bevel there. Mark it right here. Let's see how I have one on here. It fits flush. Excuse me. Sawdust. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Now do this by hand over on the see, I don't know which sander I use yet. Let's see, probably the 4x36. And we'll just cut us a little bevel right there so we can still keep our thickness up here, but it'll slope down to there, if that made any sense. And then we'll sand all this off. Don't that just pretty? Don't that just look pretty? That's an old joke. Alright, this side is ready to be glued on. Now, same thing with this side. We got to cut our little bevel right here. And we'll match it up with that so it'll look straight when you put them together. Clean all this up. Let's clean that inside up. Then we'll be ready for some epoxy, I do think. Alright, we're ready to epoxy on this side here. Just giving it a good wipe down. Alcohol, 90% rubbing alcohol. Same principle as acetone. Either one will work. Alcohol works better on light stuff. Acetone works better on heavy gunky stuff like you seen earlier. DevCon epoxy, that's what I use. I get asked that a lot. Never had a problem with it. Good stuff. Now you can get the tubes, the little syringe tubes of DevCon, same thing. I just get these bigger containers because I use so much more of it. Sometimes I'll get the syringes if that's all I can find. But local hardware quit carrying it for the most part, so I ordered this on Amazon most of the time. Give it a good mix. Now I do from a knife built from scratch all the way up to these kind, I do the handles one side at a time. That's the way I do it. Works better for me that way. Anything you do, if it works for you, that's how you do it. I think. If it matters. I don't even know why I said that. I don't try to teach people how to do stuff. I just show you how I do it. Right, turn it over. Part where you try not to get it on your fingers, but you will anyway. Clamp. Fidget with it a little bit, make sure it stays where you want it. Check the end here. It's just a little bit tacky, it'll stay a little bit better. Don't have much time before it don't move anymore. Get it off my fingers. Get down here and look. There. That's starting to tack up just a little bit and staying better. It's just not wanting to stay where I want it to stay. There we go. Stay right there. Right there. Do not move. There we go. There we go, right there. Think. Nope. I'm telling y'all, I constantly talk to myself doing this. It ain't cooperating. Hang on. There. Stay. Now we're back to the favorite pastime of watching glue dry. Alright, this side's dry enough to work with. We got our pinholes drilled, so we know they'll line up. Do the same thing with the epoxy. Put this side on, let it dry, and then before we go to flattening and flushing everything up, we'll get the pins in it and let it. This one's gonna have to dry. What time is it now? Probably till tomorrow. And tomorrow is Sunday, and I've got to do some stuff tomorrow, so we'll probably get back on this one Monday, because I want this epoxy to cure very, very good, especially this weekend because it's rainy, more rain coming, very damp, very humid in here, even with the AC on. So that all you got to take all that into account also. So anyway, same thing I did on this side, we'll do on this side. Maybe it won't give me no trouble this time. There we go. Alright y'all, here we go. We're going to call this part 1. It's been a few hours. This epoxy has dried pretty good. It still needs to dry overnight, but I've got it, everything is flush all the way down. Now still, I've got to take some more off of here. I think I figured about 7/30 seconds has got to come off, so that's a little bit more on each side. And we'll get it down to about 1 inch, and when I get it there, then I will dress up these corners, round them over some, chamfer them if you will. Now before I ever started doing the chamfering on the router table, I always did it by hand with a file, and that's the way I'm going to do this one, because the router table with being the guard on here already, it won't reach and it just won't look right. So we're going to do that by hand, and then hand sand, final sand. But I'm really glad the way this came out. I didn't take any of the metal material off. Just when I sanded it flat, scratched it, so I polished it back up a little bit, and I'll do the same thing again, but that's alright. The Bear and Sons Bowie coming right along. Now this guy told me he has gigantic hands. That's why he wants at least 1 inch thick, and I think this is going to work out just right. It's going to look awesome too. There we go. Part 1 is done. And like I said, tomorrow's Sunday. Shop's closed. I'm gonna spend the day with my girlfriend. Y'all don't tell Mama about that, but I don't know what we want to do. She wants to go to town, and we'd probably just go mess around and stuff like that. It is coming on hurricane season here, so we do need supplies. We've got plenty, but we need a little more, if you know what I mean. You don't never know what'll happen. So there we go. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. This one gets done in a couple days. One more to get done. I think I got another one coming in the mail soon. Maybe 2 more coming in the mail soon. And I need some work. So y'all send me what you got. Let me know what you want, and I'll handle it for you. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Thumbs up. Camera's all wonky there.